I think that one of the things that we have to bear in mind is that South Africa remains the source of the holder, if you like, of the largest platinum reserves in the world. So South Africa will continue to be the most important producer of platinum. It's been a very difficult few years for the industry, but I think there are some, although things are very difficult at the moment, I think there have been some positive signs over the last few years. There have been massive improvements in safety, of course, although there's still work to do there. And I think also there's been perhaps a change in approach of the industry, with a willingness perhaps to look at the costs of production, to close operations which are not profitable. There is still, of course, massive potential for production to increase in South Africa if things start to improve on the operational side, because the resources are there. The outlook is intimately tied up with price, because we've seen a period of rising costs in South Africa, although certainly in the first half of 2012 there were some signs of cost inflation being controlled at some operations, but nevertheless it's been a period of high inflation, higher increases in mining costs, and a generally difficult operating environment. So I don't think that even before the strikes people were looking for big increases in the short term in South African production. Looking forward, there are still, I think what we tend to forget, that there are still some operations that are expanding. For example, there's Royal Bafokeng Platinum, whose metal is refined by Anglo Platinum. There is the Wasizwe mine, which is being built, although of course production from that mine is still some distance down the road. There is investment on the Eastern Bushveld, because Anglo Platinum's Twickenham project is still going ahead. There is the Booysendal project that Northam is developing. So, there are opportunities for miners who have good ore bodies and who can mine them in an efficient way. We are going to see an impact on 2012 supplies. We'll see an impact probably now on 2013 supplies as well, because of the pipeline means that losses of production now, from now onwards, will impact 2013. In terms of what that does to the platinum market, then I think that what we have to say is at the moment there's adequate liquidity in the market and that consumers are not going short of metal. If you look at first half results at Anglo Platinum from their interim results, that some of their mines, and particularly the ones in the Rustenburg area, which have had a hard few years in some cases, were looking in better shape than they had been for some time. But of course, in any large mining operation with many mines, in any half-year period, you will see some mines doing well, and other mines doing less well. And on the positive side, some of the Rustenburg area mines did well in the first half. Of course, the second half will be different, unfortunately, because of the stoppages, and also Mogalakwena, the open pit mine on the Platreef, which has been a very successful operation for them, very low cost, very stable operation for them over the last few years.